Welcome to Sailing with Lucy from sunny Pittwater, Sydney.
Hey everybody, we've got some great news, haven't we, Jimmy?
Yeah, we're going to take the boat up to Oyster Cove.
On our way.
We're here for the night and we'll leave very early in the morning. Apparently we're going to have 15 to 20 knots tomorrow from the southeast, which is perfect. It's been over a year since we returned to Pittwater for family reasons, so we were very excited to be leaving the Heads and setting off. It promised to be a good sail. And then things went horribly wrong.
Just before we begin, I just want to say Jim hasn't punched me in the nose. I just had to have some laser treatment yesterday for that spot where the mole was removed about a year ago.
Yeah, we thought it was a more minor procedure, but Adri came out of there with looked like she'd been in a street brawl.
But they assure me that it's going to be fine after a few days. So let's get to the reasons we were on the boat on our way to Port Stephens.
Well, we were going up there to slip the boat and to have Phil, the painter who painted the boat for us about a year ago, take care of that for us, because it was great work and he's a pleasure to deal with. So we thought we'd take her for a trip up there, which was fine, would have been good, but the sea state was just pretty ugly. It was much worse than what we had expected from the forecast, and we just decided we didn't need to keep doing that for another 8 hours or so. So we decided to come back and reschedule, and good thing we did, because when we came back, the salt water supply blocked. We eventually found out that we had crustaceans not living in the strainer box. The strainer box was clean, but they were above that in one section of PVC pipe that's about 800 millimetres long section of pipe that goes from the sea strainer up high to above the water level to the distribution manifold, which is a stainless steel distribution pipe. It's a 40 millimetre internal diameter pipe, but it was pretty blocked. And we were quite surprised when we pulled that apart to discover how much growth was in it. Oh, look.
Got an oyster.
Oh my God. And so we've learned a lesson there about keeping an eye on that for the future.
Every boat has a water intake system. Salt water comes into the boat through a hole in the hull here, to be used by the engine, generator, water maker, toilets, and in our case, an air conditioner, after which it comes out here. Tiny particles of marine growth like the barnacles you see here begin their life as larvae looking for a home, and boats make perfect hosts. The larvae attach to the bottoms of boats, creating entire ecosystems, and that's why you see sailors hauling out their boats periodically for anti-fouling. The trouble is that the larvae are small enough to slip through the water intake strainer, and that's how they enter the boat's water system and eventually grow enough to cause blockage. Studies conducted by divers who work on different types of boats in the marinas of Southern California showed that marine fouling has a pronounced increase in the warm seasons when the water temperatures are higher. 2022 saw the highest rise in water temperatures on record in Australia, as far south as Tasmania, as far north as New Guinea, and as far northeast as the Coral Seas. But this is just a reflection of the rise in water temperatures globally. So knowing this, it isn't surprising that the marine invasion this year has been the worst we've seen in 23 years. Luckily for us, no damage was done, but Jim now has to check and clean the entire water intake system to make certain it's all clear. After removing most of the raw water supply system, the inlet valve, which is located just before the transmission oil cooler, was removed, followed by the bronze T connector plug. stainless steel raw water manifold was then filled with a diluted phosphoric acid solution. The raw water manifold is then reinstalled. Most products require removal of the zinc anodes, and you really must read all the manufacturer's directions and safety instructions because acid solutions can corrode metals, particularly aluminium, if used incorrectly. For those interested, Practical Sailor has a review of various products and methods for descaling fittings. There's a link in the description. Here, Jim is reconnecting the fresh water supply. This allows us to flush the entire seawater system with fresh water. I assure you we'll be doing that more often. Jim is removing the anode plug to the transmission oil cooler. He now replaces the plug without the anode. This is the first acid wash, and this is the bubbling after an hour. When it's ready, he removes the waste and then flushes with water. And look at that, nice and clean. The new zinc anode plugs are always fitted with Loctite number 3 on the threads. Jim is now reinstalling the bronze plug fitting fitted with a new zinc anode. He checks the flow by giving it a flush and reconnects it to the water pump.
Echo whispers under stone. Centuries, countless miles to roam. And to the start, pieces to parts, beats to a drum, perfect by design. Finding our way, breaking through grey shadow, the flame, pathways intertwined.
Now to the water pump. What are you doing, Jimmy?
I'm pulling out the raw water pump for the motor. All I need to do actually is change the impeller, but I'd like to do it by taking the pump out. It's quite easy to do. It's easier to take the old impeller out and put the new one in. You can do it in situ, but I may as well just take it out and have a look at it.
Lucy and I both know, no boat job is ever easy. Whenever there's a seawater flow failure while the motor is running, it's always advisable to change the rubber impeller. as they don't like running dry.
All the other washers come off easily. It's just that one that's the hardest to get to.
The one you need to come
Yeah,
off.
the one that I can't get to, can't see.
That's hard work, Jimmy.
Yeah, you need an inspector gadget for these things. All routine. See if I can get it off now and catch that stupid looking washer. Oh, here it comes. It's in my fingers.
Washer,
Oh my god.
Don't want that in the bilge.
No. Hallelujah. Okay.
That's done.
One Perkins water pump.
And while the pump was out, Jim decided to have it reconditioned. I do recall something about one job leading to another. Anyway, here it is, shiny and as good as new.
One overhauled water pump. One more step. Done.
Years ago, our dog Candy died prematurely, not long after starting oral tick medication. It was very sad for us and made us all the more determined to do things differently with Lucy. The trouble is, the entire eastern border of Australia is very bad for ticks. So we saw a dog naturopath who recommended we give the Pet Protector a try. The Pet Protector is a metal disc charged with an atom of scalar waves that repel all external parasites, especially fleas and ticks. These scalar waves create a protective field around the dog, driving away all external parasites and stopping new ones being hosted. Lucy's been wearing one of these for her entire life and she's never had a tick. Now it's back to work again.
So we have a few things to do, and the first is to patch up our new dinghy.
Yeah, we bought an inflatable. It's about 2.75 metres long. It's got large tubes. They're 43 centimetre tubes. And it's almost a carbon copy of what we had before, except the hull is fiberglass, whereas the previous one was alloy. So yeah, we're looking forward to tidying that up a bit and getting it going and having wheels.
Holding on to a river, holding on to the breeze.
The new PVC strip is roughed up with some coarse sanding and an abrasive wheel. This will improve the mechanical bond of the adhesive.
Still sing to her in my sleep. It's like listening to the sun, shaking your fist at the sky. She's an ocean of the
The fiberglass gel coat is also decontaminated and roughed up with an abrading wheel.
sea calling the tide.
Yep, it's raining. That's autumn for you. So what's next?
I've got to wipe the fiberglass area that I've sanded the gel coat back. Just wipe it with a bit of MEK, and the same with the back of the PVC. Got to wipe that with some MEK to activate it. Then see how we go.
There's no more rain.
Yeah.
Jim is going to use Sikaflex 221 sealant to seal the rubbing strip. Where the rubbing strip had to follow compound curves, we applied adhesive tape to fix it in place.
before summer has gone away. Swim out under a broken sky. Cold sun colored with shades of white. Wave goodbye to last summer.
Jim and I were really young when we met. I was 23 and he was 25. We've known each other for 40 years and been married for 37 of those years. And in that time, we've worked together in bands and in businesses. We've raised 2 children together, renovated houses together, and for the last 23 years, we've had boats together. We actually love doing things together, and I think that's our key to a lasting relationship.
I just love being back on the boat. I feel sad to leave. I want to stay.
You want to stay on the boat, Lucy? Yeah, me too.
Looks like more dinghy work today.
The next job was to apply a fillet of the adhesive sealant along the exposed edges to seal the bonded area from the pressure of the seawater when the dinghy is planing along at speed.
Leaves are gone, heading for the coastline. Light is it when I'm there, soaking in the sunshine. We walk for miles covered in smiles just for a while. Taking the time, we press rewind out on the eyes wide as the sea.
What happens if it rains, Jimmy?
It cures with water. It's moisture curing, so once it's sealed, it can go in the water, it'll cure faster. I've just put about a 6mm radius fillet against the edge.
Right.
Just to seal the edge.
Right.
And I think this will work fine.
Can't wait to have a dinghy again.
Yeah, I know.
This dinghy is an older model, dating back to 2007, but it's lived most of its life in a garage, and the Hyperlon fabric is almost like new. However, it has previously had a puncture repair at the top of the starboard tube and a small scratch on the port tube. So Jim's going to reinforce those spots with extra patches. Next episode, Jim turns his attention to the Perkins heat exchanger, oil cooler and the exhaust manifold to complete the inspection and clean of the entire water system. Those barnacles will be shaking in their shells.
A little work, a little care, a little imagination, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fun fixing it up. You'll see.
Care, a little imagination, and a positive attitude.
What was that?
Nothing, dear.
Thanks so much for watching, liking and sharing this video, and joining our YouTube family. If you hit the notification button, YouTube will always alert you when we bring a new video out. Also, your comments help us to get to know you and inspires us to keep sharing our lives with you. Finally, we hope wherever you are in the world today, that you will feel loved and safe. And don't forget to keep your tail wagging.